Hello, boys and girls. Some leftists in Finland here, and welcome to Let's All Laugh at Fanboy. Oh, wait. That's been trademarked by the Archfiend. Last time I said Let's All Laugh at Fanboy comments, I had to pay him a lot of money. By the way, go check those videos out, or the Archfiend in general. Anyway, whatever we're calling this is going to be a collection of some of the best and brightest Elon Musk fanboy comments from the video that I did, I think I don't know how many weeks ago it was now. The video was Elon Musk and his sad, pathetic temper tantrums, a rant, and it brought out some pretty interesting creatures, and I want to show you some of these interesting creatures and respond to and critique some of their, once again, best and brightest comments. So let's begin. Ron Peterson 2317 says, I honestly don't get these crazy people obsessed with Musk just because he is rich and likes things like free speech. They come off as crazy stalkers. Yup, you caught us. Surely we don't dislike Musk for his anti-union stance, creating poor working conditions, lying about his father's emerald mine in apartheid South Africa, his compulsive lying, just in general, despicable comments about his own daughter, creating a permissive breeding ground for hate, this moronic thing, that moronic thing. Yeah, it's just 'cause he's rich. Keanu Reeves is rich, and does anybody hate him? Only very, very sad people hate Keanu Reeves. Don't you dare disrespect Keanu. Pemulus1 writes, so if we're not going to have free speech absolutism, aka free speech, then who's going to curate our speech? The government? Big tech and pharma? You? I know. How about me? I can get on board with that, so from now on, I'll let you know what you're allowed to say. This is what will curate and always has curated your freedom of speech. It's interesting how Musk fanboys always seem to forget this little fact. Here's a refresher. You can say whatever the hell you want. You are allowed to say anything you want. The government can't imprison you for what you say, unless it's slander or libel. But you can go to social media jail because all companies, as big as Facebook or Twitter or as small as IEatBellyButtonLint.org, whatever, they all have the right to protect their brands from hateful rhetoric that serves no purpose in civilized society. I've seen many, many variations of this comment. You don't know anything about business and you called him a shit businessman. I called Elon Musk a shit businessman in that video because, well, he bought Twitter for $44 billion when it wasn't even worth nearly that much, and now it's worth $19 billion. And every single idea that he has tried to implement to make Twitter more profitable has crashed and burned and wound up in the shithouse, to quote George Carlin. So, in that respect, I don't think he's a very good businessman. Maybe he's better than me. Maybe, of course, because he's spent a lot more time around a lot more money than I have. But when I think of billionaires, I think more luck and less intellect. And Elon Musk is a really, really good example of that. If you want to see the comment in its entirety, well, I guess you can just pause and read. But I'll just be going over little bits. Twitter is better than ever. Musk got rid of the deadweight employees and has his software engineers producing much needed features in video and group meetings. I guess it all really depends on which metric you're using to determine better than ever. I guess maybe just like your opinion, man, because as you see here, ever since Elon took over, it hasn't been all that rosy. Twitter's lost about 13% of their daily active users, so maybe you mean it's gotten better for people on the alt-right? For conservative users in general who are now happy that free speech absolutism is back? In addition to the fact that both sides of the political aisle can carry on discussions without the FBI and Biden administration working with Twitter and working within Twitter to silence, ban, conservative voices. Did you not read the Twitter files? Oh, the Twitter files, those files that Elon Musk himself said this past April that we should all just kind of move on from? And do you ever wonder why Elon Musk said let's just move on from the Twitter files? Because it was much ado about nothing. There was no evidence that the FBI pressured social media companies to suppress Hunter Biden laptop stories or like the only thing they found is that yes, maybe Twitter could have done a better job moderating. Maybe they should not have banned the New York Times. I think it was the New York Times or the New York Post, one of those two that got banned for and that was just because they were spreading information that came from a hack. So they could have done a better job. But your buddy wants you to move on, so maybe you should move on too. I'm convinced the only purpose you crazy leftists have in life is making everyone else mad. You don't care about what is it? Why are we all crazy? What is up with all like the usage of the word crazy from all of you? Like right wingers are some of the most unhinged. Okay, anyway, you don't care about principle, truth, or philosophy. You just want the other side upset about something you're doing. Not a winning message, gotta say. First of all, YouTube dweller 8008. Oh, is that supposed to be boob? First of all, if not for disregarding the truth, no right-wing politician on this entire planet would stand a chance at election. The goal of the right is exactly to lie to get you to vote against your interests, of course, unless you're wealthy. And even if you are wealthy, they lie about climate change, environmental issues, the dangers of regulation, things that affect all of us, regardless of who you vote for. The right wing thrives on lying. Second of all, the ethos of the right wing is pretty much, I don't care about your feelings. Even if you're just blatantly lying, I don't care about your feelings. Meaning, one of the emotions that they revel in is anger. Anger is their fuel, and without it, how else do you think they buy into so many lies? A younger me would just say simply that they're stupid, but I don't think it's really that easy. I think right-wingers weaponize anger to make people drop their intellectual guard, and that's how you get things like what you see on your screen. I dearly love this one. Ike1 says, some better arguments would get you better replies. Like, come on, man, you couldn't be bothered to even look and see if your claim is true. It's not. For the record, I went back and I looked at the parent comment. I have no idea which claim he's talking about. So let's try again. In 2022, Elon made 1,369,611 cars, and you made videos. Now go upstairs and ask your mom to help you with this part. View versus cars. I know it's not far. Your video are free, but who wins? All your videos on both channels versus one video of a dog taking a shit. This is the video he posted. All right, now is this actually a video of a dog taking a shit? Why is he lifting his leg like that? He's like, no. Oh man. Look at the cute little thing. Oh my. I'm gonna give this guy that one. I got nothing else to say. Jeremy Johnson 9693. Advertising dollars aren't donations. I never said anything like that. I don't care why companies advertise. That wasn't my point. Dictate speech. Ugh, God, that's so demonstrably false. Okay, let's skip ahead here. Not even mentioning the reason he was practically forced to buy Twitter in the first place. If he hadn't bought Twitter, the world would only be about 3 shades darker than it is now. He didn't set out to buy Twitter. He's an engineer, and that's all he is. Oh my God. Yeah, who needs personal responsibility when you've got this cult of people who are just willing to eat up every single excuse that you give them? Like, all of these cultists everywhere calling him a genius. I hear it so many times. Elon is a genius. He's such a genius, man. Oh, yeah. Here's a genius move. Signing a binding agreement, a binding contract, without letting your lawyers touch it. Add any sort of contingencies based on the user base. And then trying to weasel out of it because you just weren't genius enough to research what you were getting into. And that's, when you think about it, For all the people who say he's a great businessman and got all over my case for saying that he's a shit businessman, that's not a great business move either. I mean, just think about it. You sink the equivalent of the GDP of Bolivia into a venture, and then it just starts hemorrhaging money left and right, despite everything you try to do to make it profitable. And then you just blame everybody else for what's happening. You blame the advertisers, you blame the people who quote unquote misled you, you blame the government, you blame wokeism, everybody but yourself, right? Would any of these Elon people allow another business person the same excuses that they give him? I mean, why are so many working class people with blue collar ethics this willing to give a white collar trouser stain so many excuses for his failings? Because I guarantee you, if I opened up a business tomorrow and I made bad decision after bad decision and it went tits up, I wouldn't be a genius to these people. I wouldn't be a savvy businessman. They wouldn't even give me credit for trying. They would look at me and they would piss all over me and they would say, "Well, just pick yourself up by your bootstraps." And I'm, this goes for anybody else who isn't Elon Musk or anybody else who doesn't have some sort of cult of personality around them that they could latch onto. It took so long for me to write this song, but it's hard to start when you've got the farts. But oh, thanks for watching. I hope you were entertained. And if you weren't entertained, keep it to yourself. Have a good day, folks.